just sitting in my empty room, wishing you were here so we could do some hands-on fraction stuff. But look what I found on my cupboard. Are these some cute little ladies? Eve and Viv and Rory and Neva. Hello, ladies. Well, okay, enough of that. I'll put my ladies on my computer so I can look at them throughout my lesson. Maybe I'll just teach to those 4 today. Just kidding. All right. Fractions. Are you ready for 7.7? Is that what we're on today? I think so. 7.7. Now, if for some chance you still have your fraction bars and you've cut them out, this will be really helpful today. If not, it's okay. I have a poster I'm going to throw on the video today too, so not to worry. So you need your journal. Open to page 235. And if you have your fraction bars, that'd be awesome. If not, I have a poster that I'm going to share with you, so it's just fine. So I'm waiting for this presentation mode to kick in, and then we will be set. All right, here we go. So we are on page 235. So today we're going to use our number line poster, and we're going to write some fractions that are less than, equal to, and greater than 1/2. So I'm going to scroll that up a little bit. So I'm going to just flip our screen here to our fraction puzzle. So if we look right here, okay, we have 0 to 1, 0 to 1. So this is a whole right here. We have this whole right there. So then if we scroll down a little bit more, we can see 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, 6 6. All of this line right here is our whole space, okay? So we're going to compare all of the fractions over here to one whole. So let's take a look. So we want to find some fractions in the table that are less than 1/2, that are smaller than 1/2. So let's go look at our table. Well, I know right here is the half. I wish I could write on this poster for you, but I can't. So here's the 1/2. So we're looking for fractions that are smaller than 1/2. Okay, smaller than 1/2. So if we look at our thirds, 1/3 is smaller than, sorry, I get the one. 1/3 is smaller than the half. So if we go back here, see that 1/3 right there, hopefully you can see my clicker, is smaller than 1/2. So as we go down the line, what else is smaller than 1/2? Oh, look at that. 1/4 is smaller than 1/2. Now you could also line up your fraction bars and find the half spot, and then you can see what else is smaller than 1/2. So if this is my half spot, there's 1/3, definitely smaller than 1/2. 1/4, definitely smaller than 1/2. Let's go back to our puzzle again. So we have 1/3, 1/4. Oh, look at this. We have a couple sixths that are smaller than the half. We have 1/6 and 2/6. Those are both smaller than 1/2. So we could put 1/6 here. We could also put 2/6 there. Now I want to point something out to you. Let's look at the numerator on these numbers. You're going to see that the numerator, or the top number, is very close to 1 or 2. Okay, very, very close to 1 or 2. That's because fractions that are less than 1/2 are very, very, very small. They're tiny little parts. So they're pretty small when it compares to that portion. Okay. All right, so let's move on and find some fractions that are equal to 1/2 or the same as 1/2. So if we go back here, so here's our half. Nothing in the thirds is equal to 1/2. Oh, look at this. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So we can go ahead and put down 2/4. Now I have a trick for you, my friends. 2 is half of 4. So that's how you can find halves. 2 is half of 4. If I have a denominator of 6, what will my numerator be, Cohen? Yeah, 3. Because 3 is half of 6. Let's go back and look at that poster. 3/6 right here is the same as 1/2. Also the same as 2/4. Yeah, so very good. So there's another one. What if I did 1/8 at the bottom? What would my numerator be, Jack? Yeah, 4, because 4 is half of 8. So there you have halves. Now notice the trick here is that the numerator is always half of the denominator. Here's a challenge question. If I have 100 here in my denominator, what will my numerator be? Neva? What's that? Talk up. I can't hear you. Louder? Louder? Yeah, 50. Because 50 is half of 100. 50 is half of 100. So now we're going to look at fractions that are greater than a half, bigger than a half. So if we go back and look at our poster, so here was our half right there. So we're looking for the fractions that are bigger than the half. So if we look at our thirds, 2/3 is bigger than a half. So we could go ahead and put that on our sheet. 2/3 is bigger than a half. Okay. Going back, let's look at fourths. 2/4 was a half, lines up with the half. So 3/4 is going to be bigger than 1/2. Okay. Can you find something that has a denominator of sixths? What would sixths be that's bigger than 1/2? What do you got, Viv? Yeah, Viv, you caught it. There's actually 2 of them. 4/6 and 5/6 are bigger than 1/2. So 4/6 and 5/6 are bigger than 1/2. Now, a little hint here. The numerator is going to be really, really close to the denominator. 2 is really close to 3. 3 is close to 4. 4 is close to 6. And 5 is close to 6 as well. You'll notice that the numerator is going to be more than half of the denominator. So half of 4 would be 2, so the numerator has to be bigger than 2. Half of 6 is 3. The numerator has to be bigger than 3, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay? All right, let's take a look at part 2. So it says choose 2 fractions that are less than 1/2. All right, let's go ahead and we'll pick 1/3 and let's pick 1/4. Okay. Of these 2 fractions, which is closer to 0? Well, let's go back and look. So we picked 1/3 and we picked 1/4. Which one of those is closer to 0? Which one has a smaller amount of space? Hopefully you said, well, Mrs. Martin, the 1/4 is closer. Okay, how do you know? Well, we looked at the poster. Also, you also can know that 1/4 is smaller because the denominator is bigger. It's like the opposite because there's more pieces to share. If you have a cookie in fourths and a cookie in thirds and they're the same size, you're going to want the third because it's going to be bigger than the fourth. So I could write my number sentence saying 1/3 is greater than 1/4. So in fractions, when the denominator is bigger, it's actually smaller in size. Kind of crazy, I know. Okay, choose 2 fractions that are greater than 1/2. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do 4/6 and 5/6. So 4/6 and 5/6. Okay, of these 2 fractions, which is closer to 1? Let's go back to that poster. So we've got 4/6 and 5/6. And remember, 1 is 6/6, so right here. So which one is closer? 4/6 or 5/6? Yeah, 5/6 is closer. Well, how do you know? Because we looked at the poster. So 5/6 is greater than 4/6. Yeah, that's it. You survived. That's our lesson today. Greater and less than half. So as kind of a little quick wrap up, stop my presenting now. Yeah, an easy day today for you. So continue working on those IXLs with the fraction pieces if you haven't already done so. Let's see, today is Wednesday. We did journal 235, and it says to do, math boxes. Hey, we're going to check out our math box today. So let's go ahead and turn to page 236. 236. Well, number one, that looks pretty easy. Let me just go ahead and get our math boxes up here for you so that we're not wondering what's going on. Sorry about that. I get confused sometimes. All right, we'll get our present screen on. All right, here it comes. Here it comes. There it is. All right, so we're filling in that fact triangle. Remember, you get to make up your own today, so you get to fill in any fact triangle you want. Don't forget, you need to have 2 multipliers and 2 divider numbers. And remember over here, the largest number goes by the dot. All right, looking at number 2, Justin's grandma poured 30 liters of water into 5-liter jugs. How many 5-liter jugs did he fill? Why? 5's a pretty easy number to count by, so that shouldn't be too difficult. Moving on to number 3, fill in the circles next to the names that belong in this collection box. 2 2's, 2 halves are really equal to what? So which of these would fit into the box? I'm going to give you a hint. There's 2 of them. Number 4, we're using that order of operation. Underline the part that should come first and then solve. Just a quick review, we do parentheses first, but look, there are no parentheses. So then we want to multiply and divide, moving left to right. And finally, we're going to add and subtract, also moving left to right. Looking at number 5, Charlie now has 20 batteries. He started with 6 packs of 10 batteries. How many batteries did Charlie use? Okay, he has 20 right now. He started with 6 packs of 10. How many did he use? Remember, B is the number of batteries, so don't be confused by that B in there. And last but not least, number 6, we're going to make an estimate. What is your estimate? Now, 3rd graders, don't be lazy. Let's go ahead and write it out this way and add those numbers up, and hopefully your number will make sense. All right, my friends, it was so awesome seeing you today. Take care. Tomorrow we'll take a peek at that home link. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.